Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Sneha for Self-Pip and IELTS. Now in today's class, we are going to discuss IELTS and we are going to discuss the reading module of this examination. Now, in one of my previous videos, I have discussed the basic format of IELTS. Now, in that video, I have discussed that this examination is conducted in two modes. Number one is academic, and the second one is general. So there is this academic format of this examination, then there is this general format of this examination. Now, reading section, it is a bit different in academic from general one. Now, in academic, what happens is you are given 3 reading comprehensions in this module. On the other hand, in general format of this examination, instead of 3 reading comprehensions, here you will find 3 sections. So these are sections in general and these are reading comprehensions in academic. So in general, in each of these sections, there are further reading comprehensions. So in section 1 or part 1, you can call it, there are 2 reading comprehensions. In second section, again, there are 2 reading comprehensions, and in the third one, it's going to be 1 reading comprehension. However, in both the formats, the types of questions that are asked, they are the same. And today, in this class, we are only going to focus on the first type of question, that is true, false, not given. Now, you'll find this type of question in academic IELTS. You'll find these types of questions in general IELTS as well. So let's focus on understanding what are actually these true, false, not given types of questions. So when I talk about these questions, what we have to do is we have to match the information given in the question with the information given in the text, that is reading comprehension. So if you think information in question completely agrees with the information of text, you're going to mark your answer as true. If you think information of question, it is contradictory, opposite to that given in the text, you're going to mark it false. And if you think the information given in the question, it is missing in the text, that means the text does not talk about whatever information is given in the question or only talks about it partially. You cannot fully verify it from the text. So in that case, you are going to mark your answer as not given. Now, most of the candidates, they face confusion between these two options. They're not able to understand, when an option is false or when an option is not given. Finding an option to be true, it's much more easier because if the information of the question, it's there in the text, your answer is true. Confusion is between these two. So before actually solving the types of question, let's try to understand these better using one very basic example. Now, let us say your text is this. This is the text reading comprehension given to you. Although in your exam, you're not going to, have such simple texts, right? The language over there, it's going to be complex for sure. So let's imagine this is the text given to us. It says entry only for children below 12 years. So this is what text says. And let's imagine that these are the questions given to you. So this is question number 1, 2, and 3. So if the question says that adults are not allowed, what you have to do is, you have to match information of the question with the information of the text. See if both of them are saying the same thing or not. And to understand this, you have to be really good at understanding the paraphrased terms. Paraphrase means the words in the question will be different from the words in the text. However, their meaning will be same. So in your eyes, do not expect that, the words that are given in the question, they're going to be the same words in the text. You're going to find the same words in the text. No, it's not going to happen. You are going to find paraphrased sentences most of the times, and you have to understand paraphrasing. So you just have to see that either you search for the exact word, or you search for synonym, or you search for closely associated words to make sure that you are able to find your keywords. Now if you look at this question, my keywords are adults, not allowed. So these are the keywords I'm going to focus on in the text. And since I know paraphrasing would be used, so I will see if I can find some exact word, or if I can find synonyms, or if I can find closely associated words. But one thing is sure, that if it's true, the information of the question will completely agree with the information of the text. Meaning will be same. So if the question says adults are not allowed, and the text says entry only for children below 12 years, what do you think? Are these two statements giving the same meaning? Adults not allowed. Adults are someone who is 18 or above. And entry only for children below 12 years. It means the person who can enter should be less than 12 years. So if I say only less than 12 years, or if I say more than 18 years are not allowed, aren't these two the same thing? Only those allowed that are under 12 years, those are not allowed who are above or 18 or above, right? So definitely both of them are talking about the same idea, the same thing. So my information of the question completely matches with the information of the text. So this is going to be true. Now let's come to the third question first. Third question says, children above 12 years will be permitted. Children above 12 years will be permitted. So what it is saying is exactly opposite of this. Children above 12 years permitted? No. Only children who are below 12 years, those are permitted. So information given in the question is exactly opposite to information given in the text. So this time my answer is going to be false. Right? Because both the information are contradictory, exactly opposite. Now let us look at question number 2. Kids need to show a ticket. We're talking about kids and that they need to show a ticket. The text says entry only for children below 12 years. Does the text talk anything related to showing ticket? That kids, they need to show ticket? Not at all. It's only talking about permissible age for the entry, right? So my text does not talk about any information related to the question. The information of the question is not at all present in the text. That is why here my answer would be not given. The information is not given anywhere in the text, let alone be true or false, right? Because the information is not there. How can I say that kids need to show a ticket or not? I don't know. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. The text doesn't talk about it. So these are true, false, not given types of questions. So today we are going to solve these true, false, not given types of question that are asked in IELTS. Now, this is the text given to you. So this is the reading comprehension. And based on this reading comprehension, you have these questions 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And the instructions are given over here. The instructions are like these only in your exam. So it clearly says that do the following statements, agree with the information given in the text on page 41, which is this. So in boxes, so in your answer sheet or on your screen, there will be boxes where you will have to write true, false, or not given. So if the statement of the question agrees with the text, answer is true. If the statement of the question it is contradictory to the text, answer is going to be false. And if the information in the question it's not given or it's only partially given in the text, your answer is going to be not given. Alright, so let's begin with the discussion. Alright, now for these types of question, for true, false, not given, there is one thing, there is one hack actually that you people have to know, and that is order is being followed or not. Now what I mean to say is that the order of the passage and the order of the question that remains same in case of true, false, not given. That means the information related to question number 8 will appear first somewhere in the text. Only then you're going to find information related to question number 9 and then information related to question number 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So the information, the order of the information of question, it's going to be same as the order of information given in the text. And it's going to be followed like in almost 95 to 99% of your questions in IELTS. Now, how do we use this, hack that we have in hand? And we actually, save our time using this hack. So what you have to do is, let's say you got your information for question number 8 somewhere over here in this line. Let's say. So you got your answer for question number 8. I'm assuming that it's true. So when you come to question number 9, you will not read from the beginning, not at all. Don't waste your minutes now. Start reading from the very next word. So the very next word after this would be here. So for question number 9, don't waste your time reading this part again. Directly come to the next word. Similarly, let's say you find your question number 9 over here. So for question number 10, you will be reading from here. Again, we will not go to the beginning for your question number 10. So it's kind of, time management hack for you in your examination. We only have 60 minutes and there are 40 questions in total. So there is definitely paucity of time and you have to be best at managing your time. And these are the hacks that really work in this examination. So please remember, for true, false, not given type of question, you are going to make sure that you do not waste your minutes rereading the information, because you know the order of the text and the order of the question, that is going to be the same. Alright. So this is something that you need to remember for these types of questions. Now let's discuss actually how we solve them. So what you're going to do is you're not going to read the text first of all. Straight away come to the questions. Come to the question, read the very first question. The water penetration in some flats is being treated as an emergency. So after reading the question, focus on keywords. Keywords means the key information that you will scan this text for. So in reading, we have these two skills that really work, and these are scanning and skimming. Scanning is when you move your eyes really quickly around the text searching for some keywords, that is scanning. Skimming is focusing on one part of the text, reading it very quickly, reading just the main words, but you are reading all the words. Now you're not focusing on a keyword. You're trying to understand the main idea, let's say, of this part. So you're moving your eyes very quickly, trying to understand the gist, the summary of this part. That is called skimming. And in few first types of question, first you scan, then you can skim. So first you try to find the keywords. Once you have located the keywords, then quickly read the text around those keywords to understand the idea, to understand whether the information of the text is same as that of the question. So you first scan and then skim. So if I come back to this question number 8, the water penetration in some flats is being treated as an emergency. The keywords here would be water penetration, emergency. If water penetration is an emergency in some flats. Now, as I just stated, do not expect that you are going to find these exact words over here. Not at all. That's not going to be the case. So what you have to do, you have to either find exact words, or you can have synonyms, or you can have closely associated words. Water penetration, emergency. Start reading from the very first word, dear residents, and you have this water penetration over here. So you know now that this information is surely going to be over here. Now look for this keyword, emergency. As a result of the recent heavy rains, water has seeped through the walls of some flats and reached a critical level. A decision has been taken to deal with this immediately. Does it give you any idea of an emergency? Water penetration. Try to see synonyms, closely associated words. Water has seeped through. Water penetration. Reached a critical level. Decision has been taken to deal with this immediately. Emergency. Water penetration in some flats is being treated as emergency. Water has seeped through. Decision has been taken to deal with this immediately. So this information and this information, they have the same meaning. It's only paraphrasing. Words are different, meaning is same. I can say that my statement of question, it agrees with the information given in the text. So this is going to be true. 8. Now I found my information over here for question number 8. So for question number 9, when I read this, the southern wall will undergo a permanent repair this year. So my keywords are southern wall, permanent repair. Now I search, I scan the text for these keywords, and I know that because these questions, they follow the same order as the text, I have to read from here. I will not be wasting my seconds going back to the very first word. So scaffolding will be put up on the middle section of the southern wall. I have my first keyword, southern wall. Permanent repair. and the brickwork there will be sealed temporarily with a waterproof covering to prevent any further water getting in until the major building works take place next year. So here southern wall is definitely here, but does it say that this year some permanent work will happen? No, it in fact talks exactly the opposite, that this year it will be sealed temporarily and major work that will take place next year, not this year. So permanent work will happen next year. This year southern wall is going to be only worked upon temporarily. So this information of question contradicts with the information of the text. Exactly opposite, right? It says permanent, this one says temporarily. Exactly opposite. So here my answer is going to be false. Right? Now let's come to question number 10th. Some people have failed to pay attention to wet paint signs. Failed to pay attention to wet paint signs. Look for these keywords. Scan for these keywords now. I know wet paint signs, it's not making any sense in fire safety. Or just to make sure, you can quickly scan this text. Following a fire safety inspection, front doors, individual flats, upgrade, replace, safety regulations, newsletter, decoration of hall side front doors, fire safety project, company, PRQ builders. It does not talk about wet paint signs. Come to the next section. Corridor walls, inside the building redecorated every 3 years on a rolling basis, being done this year. Look out for signs indicating paint is wet. Oh yes, now I have my keywords. Paint is wet. The question says, some people have failed to pay attention to these signs. And the text says, please look out for signs indicating where the paint is wet. If you have children, make sure they keep away from the walls. DH cannot be held responsible for any spoiled clothing. DH is Durridge Heights. This, the name of the building. Now, is this information given in the text? Do you think the text talk about that people have failed to pay attention to these signs? Not at all. This is something else. It's only kind of, a caution that is given that please look out for such signs. Doesn't mean that people have failed to notice these signs. So the information of the question, it's not there. The text does not talk about it. There is no information on this. So that is why here my answer for question number 10 is going to be not given. Now we come to question number 11. Air fresheners have caused some damage in the past. So now my keywords will be air fresheners, damage, past. Now look at the text again. I know my information for question number 10 was somewhere here. So I am going to read below it, not above it, because I know it follows the order of the text. So air fresheners, this keyword, it's over here. So I start reading from here. We have received a small number of complaints about smells in the corridors. DH installed air fresheners some years ago. However, they were costly and the liquid in the spray stained the carpets. Liquid in air freshener stained the carpets. Air fresheners have caused some damage in the past. Staining the carpet, damage. It's talking about past. And what caused the damage? Liquid in the spray of air freshener. So this information and this information, they have the same meaning. Again, it's paraphrasing. But the question, what the question says and what the text says, that remains essentially the same. So here my answer is going to be true again. So now we come to the next question, question number 12. Residents are responsible for removing their own rubbish from the building. Now I start reading from here. At present, we would prefer to ask residents to make sure smells cannot escape their front door. And to seal rubbish bags. Yes, it talks about rubbish bags. When they put them in the corridor for collection and disposal by the caretaker. So here it's been said that residents, they put and they seal their rubbish bags, they put them in the corridor for disposal, and who does it? Collection and disposal, that is done by caretaker. This is what the text says. On the other hand, the question says that residents are responsible for removing their rubbish from the building. Residents, they only place the rubbish bags in the corridor for collection. They do not remove it from the building. That is done by caretaker. So the information of the text again is contradictory with the information of the question. So this time my answer is going to be false. Now let's look at question number 13. Some residents have reported problems with noisy neighbors. Noisy neighbors. Problems. Residents reported. These are all the keywords. Noise. I know my answer is going to be here. So, while most leaseholders observe the regulations on noise, we have received complaints from others about out-of-hours drilling. Out-of-hours drilling. Received complaints. Residents reported problems, noisy neighbors. And again, it's paraphrasing. Right, because some of the residents, they have lodged complaint about noise that is caused by out-of-hours drilling by some of the residents. So this information and this information, they say one and the same thing. So this is again true. And then we are left with the last question. DIY can take place outside the stated hours if your neighbor agrees. DIY can take place outside stated hours if your neighbor agrees. This text says, please note that any work involving hammers or electrical tools can only take place between 9 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. on weekdays and between 9 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. on a Saturday. That means this work can only be done within these hours. And then again it very clearly says there can be no exceptions. So that means any noisy work outside of these hours, it's just not possible. So can you say that DIY can take place outside stated hours if your neighbor agrees? There is no exception to this rule. Cannot happen. So this information in the text, it's contradictory to the information of the question. So this answer is going to be false as well. So this is how you solve true, false, not given types of question. Just remember some things, that what is the meaning of true, what's the meaning of false, what's the meaning of not given. Then these questions, they follow the order of the text. You will be scanning, you will be skimming, right? So these are the things that you will be combining to solve your questions of these types. So this was all about today's class. I hope these types of questions will be clear to you from now on. So thank you very much for watching this video, and if you haven't done it so far, please go to my channel, subscribe to my channel, like my videos, share them with whosoever needs it. Do not miss out on any update and keep following all the videos that you're going to see in the coming days. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.